Okay, in this video I want to talk about evolution. So evolution is basically defined as the genetic change in a species occurring over many generations, okay, and then resulting in a new species. So the genetic change in a species over many gens, short for generations, resulting in a new species. Okay, a generation is basically the time between birth of an individual and when that individual produces their own offspring. Okay, so you, for example, if you're in year 9 now, your generation is Generation Z. Okay, so Generation Z. So if you're born from 2000 onwards, you're Generation Z, and so when you give birth, someday eventually, or if you do, that's basically a generation. That's your generation by definition. Now, in related species, okay, characteristics that have the same basic structure are called homologous. Remember, homologous means the same. Homo, the same. As I was talking about homologous chromosomes before, homologous means the two chromosomes are the same. Homologous characteristic. Okay. And these characteristics are basically controlled by particular inherited genes. So controlled by specific inherited genes, right? So traits are controlled by genes, as I mentioned before. Okay, example is that of foot bones, okay, of different fossil horses, okay. They're homologous, okay, they've got the same structure. Another example is a cat's paw and a lion's paw. Cats and lions are felines, they exist sort of in the same family. So the more alike two organisms are, the more genes they'll share, okay? That's what you call homologous structures. Okay, the more traits they share, the more genes they share. Okay. Pretty self-explanatory. Now, I should mention that a homologous structure as in like a body part, homologous structure doesn't necessarily have the same function in all the groups that share that particular body type, right? Body part, sorry. For example, humans, bats, and whales, okay, they all have what's called pentadactyl limbs. Okay, penta is 5. Pentadactyl means pentadactyl limbs, 5 digits at the end of each limb. So 5 digits at end of each limb. For example, your hand and your foot. Okay. Example, hand and foot. We use our hand for gripping things, our feet for walking. However, whales form a flipper with their hands and feet, right? Sorry, with their hands. They form a flipper for swimming. Bats, they use it for flying as a wing. Okay, so they're different ways. Different species use them. Sorry, different species use different body parts. Sorry, yeah, they use similar body parts for different things. Okay, different species use similar body parts for different things. Now, what's an analogous? I want to define an analogous structure. These are structures that look alike, look similar, okay, or on genetically different, very different organisms. Okay, structures that look similar on genetically different organisms. For example, dolphins and sharks. Okay, they have similar body shapes and fins, but they evolved in they have similar body shapes and fins because they evolved in similar marine environments. Okay. So they genetically look, they're genetically different, but they've got similar structures like fins, okay, to swim with. So studying, let me make a statement here, studying the structure of living things, living species, and their genetic makeup. Genetic makeup, these are called genotypes, remember? Provides evidence that organisms with similar structures are very closely related. Okay, i.e., they're descended from the same, from a common ancestor. Okay, studying the structure of species and their makeup, the genotype provides evidence that organisms with similar structures are very closely related. Right, that's pretty self-explanatory.